Before we talk about the politics of the situation, it's important to focus on the fact that there's a lot of concern right now that this earthquake is just not going to stay relevant in the news cycle for a very long time. Will the Western world still care about this in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months? And as we discussed, I think that this is a situation that the recovery for both countries is going to take a very, very long time, and it's going to require all the international aid and global attention that it can get. So I just feel like that's an important point to emphasize before we go into, the politics of the situation. Of course, he's panicking. Of course, he's making an attempt right now that's really nothing more than a Band-Aid on a situation that is likely going to not fare very well for him, for his political life. And yeah, I just think the focus right now should be on just emphasizing the sheer scale, the sheer scope of the destruction and the damage that's happened right now, and keeping that in the news cycle, keeping that top of mind, because really this is just the beginning of what's going to be a pretty bad few years for both of these countries.
A pretty bad few years.
Absolutely. But, I would just say, to amend what Noor is saying, is that you can't really separate the politics from the aid delivery effort in both Syria and Turkey. You have a situation in Turkey where you have a government agency, AFAD, that is so centralized and insisting that all aid be delivered through it. We had video earlier showing people volunteering to go and help out on their own initiative. The AFAD, the main disaster relief agency, has warned against that, insisted that aid be delivered through the central government constantly. This is just not the way to do things, according to aid officials that I've spoken to in Turkey. And this has been a hamper toward getting aid to the people who need it on a local level and on a community level. In Syria, you have a situation where there's a lot of people who want to help. There's a lot of people around the world who want to help internationally. But you have a situation where you have an isolated enclave under the control of rebels that are not part of the Damascus government. And you have a regime in Damascus that is instrumentalizing aid, has a history of instrumentalizing aid, of punishing people and politicizing aid, that has been very reluctant to let aid get across from Damascus and Aleppo to the rebel areas. And you have a Russian patron of that regime that has repeatedly hampered efforts to get aid across the border from Turkey into this area.
Yeah, Syria, where it's desperate, 4 days.
And I'd like to clarify that.
Go ahead, Noor Ibrahim.
I just want to clarify that I was referring to the Erdogan situation. Of course, when it comes to Syria, the political situation there is going to absolutely play a huge role. And the fact that they're even blaming this on Western sanctions, when we all know that humanitarian aid is exempt from that. And just the fact that all of these countries don't trust what the Assad regime is saying in terms of allowing that aid to reach opposition-controlled areas.